hear him talk if he really cleans it up.
You definitely hear the impact of the ball.
That's what we want. I want to get the hits and the squeaking on the floor. I watched a couple of Big Ten, and they got a lot of that. They got a lot of crowd noise, and they have almost higher on the mix than their announcer voice.
Right.
So
well, I think it would be super cool to put one down on the floor and get the squeak of the.
You could add another one of these.
Right, I'm going to try to get. Try to get out here. I'm hung up. Oh, I'm underneath. Ready? Okay. You know what? Actually, it was looped. All right, we're on, Jim, if you want to.
All right, good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to the Raleigh Sports Center here in Maple Grove, Minnesota for Northern Lights Volleyball. Today, our 17 Red team coming off their championship in Omaha, Nebraska is back in the Molten Series. This is the third rendition of the Molten Series, and today we are in semifinal action. It's bracket play here today. We're getting ready to take on Minnesota Select 16-2s. Alongside Mike Spolidoro, I'm Jim Welbrock here on the Spolidoro Sports Network. Mike, what are the keys to today's match?
The keys continue to be the same, Jim. It's fundamental. Start fundamental. Get off to a fast start. Get the Select team on their heels. This is their home gym. Not that there's a tremendous amount of home fan support, but this is their home gym. They know it. They know the glares. It is a relatively tough place to play with the lighting. So get off to a fast start.
All right. Audrey Spolidoro puts the ball in play. Great serve down that right line. Brought back over by Select. Brownlee there. That's a point for Select. I think, like Mike mentioned, we want to get off to a fast start. That's always good in any sporting event. They talk about the first 5 minutes. Here we will talk about the first 5 points. Brownlee, Klembarski. Big swing by Hecky.
Got a touch.
That's a kill.
Yeah, Jim, this is the second match of the day for this Lights team. I think the unanimous feeling is that they came out a little bit sluggish the first match.
For sure. Laura Welbrock puts this in play. Right pin, swing off the block. That's a point for Select.
This facility is an old indoor soccer facility. So you see boards around the outside, and we are standing behind the boards and net.
Lexi Petrick sends this one over. Right pin for Select. Swing. That is called in.
Yeah, it looks like it caught the line. She's got a big arm over there, that right side hitter. Good cross-court shot to the deep corner. We did not have an answer.
Getting set up to serve over on the Select side. Put in play. Into the net. That's a service error.
Take those, as many as we can get.
Substitution, the Cronin Wall coming in. Emma Fretheim back to serve. Sends it over. Handled by the libero. Left pin, big swing, no touch. Oh, we're going to get called for a touch here.
Yeah, I thought it detected the noise of a touch. Laura claims she didn't, but then subtly acknowledges to Coach Nate that in fact she did touch the ball.
Similar thing you see in the Big Ten matches where they will note whether or not they should challenge something or not. Kind of look to the players to say, yeah, I did touch that.
We did see that in the first match as well. Spolidoro went up for a block, hit the net, and Coach Nate just wanted to make sure.
Oh, big save by Welbrock here, sent over by Klimbarski. Set up by Select at the net, pushed back. They'll try again, sent over, covered by Welbrock. Van Hecke, big towering set, left side, Petrick. Sends it over, got a ball in the court, nobody's seen it yet. The ball rolled through, and that one's not going to impact play. Lexi again, sends through, a little confusion on the other side. Pop back over on the free ball, Welbrock, good dig. Van Hecke, big swing from Cronin, but it's covered. Sent back over. Long rally here. Van Hecke short set in the middle. Cronin, whoa, that's a point for Northern Lights.
Seeing a bit of a different rotation from Coach Nate this second match, more of a traditional 6-2 run offense, meaning 2 setters on the floor, which is common for this team, but running the setter out of the back row only.
Welbrock, Van Hecke, cool off the block there for Cronin.
That gives the setter 3 options at all time for hitters. Of course, as we've discussed, the disadvantage of the 6-2 is if the pass is tight to the setter up front, they can't just turn and go over with it. They got to try to maintain it on their own side.
It brings the southpaw. Brownlee sends a serve cross court, covered. A little bit out of system here, but swung back over. Klimbarski, Van Hecke, Welbrock, big swing. That finds the floor. Good cross court shot there.
Good to see Laney back in that setter position. I know it's a favorite position of hers. Coach Nate dealing with a number of injuries. Unfortunately, Lauren Schmidt not back from her ankle injury, and Ella Masso now dealing with a quad injury that she really suffered during the January thaw, and it just kind of evolved over the President's Day Classic tournament, so she's taking a little break.
Of course, a lot of these tournaments are about endurance. How much and how can you take, and how do you recover and deal with injuries? Point there with a good spot in the far left corner as we look from south to north here. Again, we're at the Raleigh Sports Center in Maple Grove, Minnesota.
Long haul to get up here this morning, Jim.
It is a long haul. I felt like we were driving to St. Cloud. Klimbarski puts it in play. Big swing, but I don't think that one made it over. Oh, we're calling a double contact. Familiar official in the upstand. Seen him many events over the years. Service error there for Lights. Teams getting used to each other here. Our scoreboard is behind us, so I got to remember to look back there. 8-7. I'm not sure which way that is right now. We'll get that updated for you here. Brownlee, Van Hecke. Welbrock's going to send this left-hand this over, but that hits the antenna. And it's 8-8. Emma, Laura, going to send this over. Select set up their offense, left pin, swung over, Klimbarski. Van Hecke in the middle, and the Fredheim sent over. Big swing, touched on the block, Klimbarski, good dig there. Welbrock, left side, swung over, covered. Another long rally here, and the Fredheim tips that over. Left pin, swung over, out.
Good long rally. Good to get those points. We've talked about, Jim. Those long rallies can be really encouraging for teams that win that point.
Yes.
And at the same time, discouraging for teams that work all that time and don't get the point.
This one doesn't get back over the net. Coach Lair's up, offering some instruction. You might have heard that there. We added a microphone today to try to pick up the court sounds a little bit. You can hear the sounds of the game. Hopefully that's helping a little bit. Brownlee pushed over by Emma Fredheim. They have trouble on the other side. Building a lead here a little bit. 11-8. Your lights, 17 red. Audrey at the line. Going to send it over. Short serve. They have trouble covering it, but good dig there. Brought back over. Audrey, Laura. Big swing towards the block.
Great swing by Laura. Given the pace of the play, she was not able to get back for her full approach, but she still really put some heat on that ball.
Spolidoro continues at the line. Sent over. Select sets up. Left pin. Big swing.
Yeah, this select team has some players that can swing, Jim. If they get that ball in system, they really put good contact on that ball, and important to keep them out of system.
Here comes the serve. Brownlee. Audrey. Right side. Well brought down the line. Shut the door.
Great decision by Laura there to get up there and turn to go down the line. It was wide open. She saw it, and she made no mistake about putting the ball down.
It brings her to the service line, to the right of our broadcast position here. Sends it over. That's long. That will upset her. She takes great pride in her service chances at the line, and she'll be kicking herself a little bit for that.
We may
Serve comes over, covered by Petrick. Big swing, but sent back. A little bit of net play there, falls to the select side, and it's a point for them. 16 twos, by the way, their team. So one age level down, but probably one level up in terms of. All right. 15-11. Going to bring Emma Fredheim to the line. Right-hander gets set.
bit of a conversation at the scorer's table there.
Scoring controversy.
Seems to be a question on rotation potentially. We take this chance to acknowledge our sponsors here, Jim. And this streaming all brought to you by the Easy Reels application. Thank you to Sam McCaw and his team at Easy Reels for bringing us the ability to bring this sport to you.
It's adding a lot of features to it, especially the scorekeeping overlays, which allows you to keep in line with the score, even if we don't remember to update you all the time, and also does the coach's cuts at the end, which is a very nice way to summarize a match and take out a lot of the dead space in between points like we just had here. 15-11, sent over by Emma Fredheim. Left pin, good swing there, right down the line.
Audrey got stuck in the middle there. Ball coming right at her face. Do you play it up? Do you play it down? And unfortunately, just didn't quite get under it. Coach Nate offering her some words of encouragement to get the hands underneath the ball.
Petrick, Audrey going to be sent over by Klembarski. They have trouble with this on the other side.
Back row kill from Klembarski. It's good to have weapons all over the floor, Jim. Every once in a while, throwing in a back row attack helps.
All right, we're going to take a quick moment here to thank some of our other sponsors. We have the unpronounceable Forrester Logistics Company from Egan, and I don't believe their team is here today. But I do think the Dan Stein Alligator Crocodile Environment Removal Services Company, I believe they're playing here today. We might see something of Mr. Stein, owner-operator and exterminator of that company, a fantastic friend here to 17 Red, carrying the sponsorship load in Omaha this past weekend, and just many, many kudos to Dan Stein for his continued and deep support of this team and this broadcast. Van Hecke sends this over. Pushed into the block.
Yeah, at this point, Jim, I hope Dan Stein is still in business. Given the success that this Lights team had at the last tournament, the number of promotions, I'm sure he's very busy. Let's hope he can stay in business.
Well, he gave away a lot of product over the weekend, that's for sure. Van Hecke, Petrick, third swing, Spolidoro.
It's fun to watch her. She's a great leaper. If her timing is right, that ball is typically on the floor. Very important weapon to this Lights team.
Absolutely. Van Hecke continues at the line. Sent over, a little bit of trouble here. They're going to have to free ball this over on the Select side. Cronin, Van Hecke tipped over. Reset their offense. And four contacts. A little disorganization there on the Select side causes a timeout to be called. We'll kind of try to listen in here to Coach Nate, see if we can hear anything that's going on in the huddle. All right. Offering encouragement there. I would say that the message would be keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
No reason to change. Just because there's a timeout does not mean you have to do anything differently.
Van Hecke continues to serve. Left pin. The block is there. Sent back. Right side. Let's try that, but that's going to be a double contact.
Yeah, we talked about, Jim, the hardest call in sport, I think, is the ruling of a double contact. That clearly was a double contact, but very challenging rule.
Yes, it is. Very open to interpretation and also very, how do I want to say this? The referees often have their own slant on whether that's an important call to them to make or not. What do they consider? How important is that fundamental to them? Klembarski, Cronin in the middle, tools the block.
All around great play there, Jim. That Klembarski pass right to Laney at the net. We call it a three pass. That means the setter has three options. The pass is right on the money. The setter can go any direction she wants. Chooses the quick middle, and Kinsey gets the point.
Brings Brownlee to the service line. She'll continue here as that ball went long. The Tri-City United product. Southpaw, lefty's going to put it into play here. Sends it over. Little trouble covering.
Boy, the Lights team has really been nailing those short serves today, Jim.
Yes,
They've been working on that very diligently. Had a word with Coach Nate before this match. He talked about the practice schedule and a little bit of a reward to the girls last practice, a little bit of a lighter practice. Trying to instill that reward factor versus the punishment.
Yes. Of course, the team finishing first out of 60 teams in Omaha. And I think you're right. There's that reward, and hey, we did well. Let's enjoy that a little bit. Klembarski, tough ball to handle there.
Yeah, that was a debatable. Is that out or is it in? Got a score problem here. Apologize for that. 23-15 Lights is the correct score.
Klembarski. Another tough serve. A couple of points here for Select.
Encouragement by Coach Nate.
Ooh, this long, tight. Tough one to let that go.
Tight.
That brings us up to set point here in the opening frame.
Puts KJ Klembarski on the hook, as we like to call it.
Sends it over.
Oh dear.
Oh, just long. Oh, now we're getting an overrule. Getting an overrule from the up ref, and that is the end of set one, folks.
25-16 finish. We'll be back shortly.
It's dripping water here. I'm getting dripped on something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.